So this is the outlet from a major section of the roof. You can see the size of the pipe.
Yeah.
Previously that ran down into a drain that runs more or less along the side of the footpath here.
Right.
Again, straight into the sewer at the front of the school. So what we've done here is cut that drain off, put it into this slot drain, which then feeds out into the rain garden, and the stones are there to, again, a bit like the little rain garden planters, they diffuse the power of the water coming into the rain garden. So
because otherwise it would all erode away the soil, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
So
it's hard to know until you actually see it behaving and you know exactly how much water is coming off the roof, how it would behave, but it's a sort of precautionary way of dealing with it to prevent any erosion there. So once the water gets in there, it can do two things. The very fast flow can follow the stream channel down here. It's got a route all the way down to the outlet.
You've designed in a kind of swale system, haven't you?
Yeah. And put a naturalistic curve in. But the soil mixture has got a lot of gravel in it. It's got a lot of capacity to absorb water. So, and there's stone in the bottom of the system. So a lot of water can just go down into the bottom, into the ground. And we're on clay here,
yes.
has a lot of clay, so the water probably isn't going to infiltrate into the ground, but it can certainly sit there in the base of this bed, and eventually the plant's roots will find their way down to it, so it'll all be helpful.
Wonderful.
But
and am I right in thinking before this was a planted bed?
It had been a sort of garden that had been let go, and when we saw it, it was this deep in weeds.
Right. So this is beautiful. Yeah.
So we're hoping that this, as a low maintenance solution here, this will be a lot easier to take care of. So this is a raised rain garden planter, and it's taking the water off the roof of this section of the school, delivering it into the planter here, into a diffuser first of all that breaks the speed of the water and helps to stop the erosion, and then in theory the whole thing could fill it with water to that level if the rain is coming in quickly.
Because the overflow's here.
Yeah.
So it'll filter there
to that level,
and then it begins to overflow.
That's it. Yeah. But otherwise, if it doesn't get to that level, the water will just sink down into the base. There's a reservoir in the base that has wicks that keep the soil moist. So if it's not rained for a while, the plant should still be fine.
So the plants are getting fed from the water that's collected in that storage. Yeah.
And then when it does overflow, it overflows down into the drain that this pipe originally connected to, but it does it at a much slower rate than if the rain was just coming straight off the roof into the pipe. So this capacity of, I don't know, a cubic metre or two is what can be stored off the roof, and the whole thing, including the soil, can take all of that volume.
All intercepted by this system here.
Yeah.
And the plants can reuse some of it as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And then some of it can evaporate. Some of it can evaporate through the plant's leaves as well. And we get the biodiversity from the plants, and we hope that the insects will like and enjoy the flowers that have been planted in here too. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, about five, 6 varieties of plants in there. But already putting on a good show, and that's immediately after planting, so it's just going to get better and better. In this one, the design is such that the water drops into a gutter, and then the gutter overflows and fills the whole planter with water. But again, it's got a reservoir down below and an overflow from that. One of the differences with this is that it's got a lot of little mini habitats attached to it. So you can see these ones on the front, sort of dry brush slots. Different types of insects will like to live
like
in those.
An insect hotel.
Yeah.
You see in parks and
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
that kind of principle, isn't it?
Yeah.
An insect park.
And
or something.
down here, you've got little slots in here. So, and in the panel underneath, again, there's a lot of dead wood in there. So there's quite a few different types of insects that will like that habitat and use it.
Yeah, you can see it's been raining, and it has been in
Yeah.
use because that channel has got some water in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and again,
Okay.
that intercepting roof water that would have gone straight to probably that gully there previously.
Yeah.
But now
Will now
it's-
be slowed down
It's all
through
being
this.
slowed down, and some of it's being lost because the plants are using it,
Yeah.
and it's also providing habitats for insects.
Yep.
So ticking lots of boxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
More grasses in this one, more herbaceous material, alchemilla in here, geraniums again. So again, plants that can cope with being dry quite a lot of the time, but then if they get occasionally inundated, they should be fine with that as well. That's the basic thing for planting in any kind of SuDS scheme.